not knowing that you're holding onto the rock is an issue. And then sometimes we're aware of it, but we don't want to let go. And there's two reasons that come to mind for me that were an issue for me on my journey when I first started healing. First of all, you're afraid to, right? Like, for a couple of reasons. You're afraid to feel that feeling. I just saw an interview with the author of The Untethered Soul, who said, the reason these feelings are trapped in us is because we don't like them and we didn't want to process them. But that's the same reason that they're stuck inside of us and causing us all of this angst and all of these issues. So, and it's true. I talked about in another video being like emotionally nauseated, like, it's there and it's making you not feel well and you're completely off center and you feel it, but you're just like, oh, I don't want to cry again. I don't want to feel this anger again. I don't want to feel, it can get tiring after a while. So sometimes we just hold on to it for that reason. Like, just the process of feeling it is not pretty. Another reason is sometimes instead of, like, you have the rock in your hand. So now you've discovered that here it is, or maybe you've been aware of it all along. But we can identify with those rocks that we're holding. I'm really leaning into the rock analogy. But we can identify with that, right? So I thought of this earlier. It's instead of, let's see. So here's a little rock. Well, this is a crystal, but how do you even, we're holding onto this rock. And then here's another one. And we're holding onto them. And if you hold on tight enough to these, they're going to hurt your hands, right? But we don't want to let them go. Like, how many times have we, said, this is when someone did this to me. And look how big this rock is. And look how bad it hurts. And look how much it's hurting me. And isn't this horrible that someone gave this rock to me for me to carry? And now I have to carry this rock. And look at this one. And then this happened to me. And look. And it becomes our whole identity. And we don't even know it. We think that we are the stories that we're telling ourselves, of what's happened to us in the past. That's not who we are. That's so crucial for you to understand. You're not your story. But you can get afraid, like, if I let these go, then who am I? I don't know who I am. These aren't actually defining you. These are actually what's holding you back from becoming your real self. Once you get rid of these, then your real self can come through. And I thought of, what if someone told you, all you have to do is clap your hands 3 times and your transformation can begin? Would you drop them and say, let's do this? Or would you want to hold on to them? That's basically what it comes down to. Your fear of feeling the feeling, or fear of losing your identity because you think that the stories and the feelings that came with them are who you are. That is not who you are. You're like a beautiful soul underneath. And like I've said, things have happened to us and our ego has put things in place that were meant to protect us, but it causes all of these altered thought patterns or faulty thought patterns that tell us a story that's not true. We're not broken. We're safe. And I promise you, you can let those things go. Promise you. And as far as feeling the emotions, that can be very intense. It really can. But every time you do it, I mean, it's like a purge. Every time you do it, you come out lighter. I think I said in my very original introduction video that, I've been on this path for 4 years now. And of course, there's times that I have fallen, but the down is higher than the high points used to be. The low points are higher than the high points used to be. It's worth it. Like this is how it goes. But we can't get there unless we start to let some of these things go. And I wanted to share a story with you about it was a great illustration of what happens, because we think, I don't know what we think, holding on to like anger for things people have done to us and guilt and shame, especially with the anger, like you're not punishing anyone else. You're creating more suffering for yourself by holding on to anger. You got to forgive and let it go. But the example of that I saw was, I was with a friend, and she had a friend there that I didn't know. But my friend and I were just chatting, and then we all started chatting, and we were laughing and, having a good time. And all of a sudden, the other friend brought up, guess who I saw, and brought up her ex. And she was angry at him and it sounded like he did horrible things. But now we're in this place, 10 years down the road, and she's bringing him up. And not only is she mad at him, she's mad at her family for not being rude to him when they saw him. It was a whole thing. But my point of that is, and I've been there, I'm not, saying that this shouldn't have happened. I'm only bringing this up to illustrate the fact that he wasn't even there. He could have been out to dinner with his family and happy and whatever. This was not affecting him whatsoever. The only person it was affecting was her, and then peripherally myself and my friend, because now, it was just like a dark cloud came over the place, and it just turned like, you could feel it. So when we're holding on to this anger and these feelings, it's not doing any good. It's purely in you. You are the one that is holding on to that, and you have to want to let it go so that you can start to heal. There's no point in hanging on to it. I promise you, you can let it go. If you need any help sorting it out, just reach out to me. You can email me, whatever you need to do to get started. But yeah, don't hang on to these negative emotions. Don't blame yourself for things. It's just pointless, and it's not doing any good. I heard someone say the other day that, you've criticized yourself for however many years, and it's not done any good. It just makes things worse. So why don't you try building yourself up? Love yourself. Show up for yourself. That's the only thing that can make a difference. Beating yourself up and keeping yourself down, it's not helping anyone at all, especially you. So I wanted to get on here and share that with you all, and I hope that was helpful. And I will leave this video here if anybody wants to watch later on. And like I said, reach out to me. I've been there. You can let it go, I promise. I just really, really want to make sure that you know that. Okay, I am sending you so much love. As always, I'm rooting for you. You can do this, and go do main character stuff. Something that you would cheer. If the main character in the movie started to do it, you would be like, yes, finally. They got it. Like, let's go. And we're going to see all this progress. Okay? All right. Sending you love.